What's up guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to use our new function called the accumulators. This might change over time. Once again, you may see it up here, I'm not sure, but for now you can just have a look out for accumulators, which is what I'm about to showcase. If you don't know how to log into our site, you can go ahead and look at the other videos on my channel where I showcase how to use our AI system. So the original bots which have been launched were known as AI bots, which is this screen right here, which is normally the landing page after you log in. But in this video, once again, we're going to have a look at accumulators, and I will be showcasing to you guys how Deriv uses it and how we incorporated it into using a bot. So once you get onto the page, we'll be presented with a graph like this. So in our case, we'll just match Deriv and use volatility 25.1s. So I'll go ahead and pick that volatility 25. But before you go ahead and do that, you want to make sure that you are in your normal trading account, right? The one that you want to be trading on, and in this case, it's a demo. So once I pick volatility 25.1s, I just want to go ahead and showcase to you guys how to use the chart. In our case, we don't have the barrier, but on Deriv's one, if you can see the barrier, it is smaller as you go higher up in percentage, and it is larger as you go lower up or lower down in percentage. So have a look at the barrier, how wide it is compared to this one, which is much smaller. So that is what these buttons are for, and I always suggest the 5% with using our bot. So I will showcase the 5% and then I'll explain as we go down the scale, so we'll get to that in a moment. The next part is statistics. So if you have a look right here, you will have a bunch of numbers. You can go ahead and look at the pair, how it's performing, and if you see many low numbers, that means you don't want to be trading that pair. But in our case, as you can see, the recent trend was high numbers. So let's just go ahead and hop into that. So as mentioned, stats is basically how many trades it's taken without exiting the barrier. Okay, so in this case, the last 12 trades were inside the barrier, which means they are winning trades, and then as it exits the barrier, it'll then move on to the next stat. So we can look at that right here. I'm just showcasing to you guys how to use the website in correlation with Deriv, but once again, you do not need that. You just need to have a look at your stats, and then you can trade from there. Once you're happy with what you're seeing, go ahead, select the pair. In this case, I will use about, we'll stick to $1 stake and a martingale of about 3.5. So you can stick to 3, you can play around with from 3 to 3.5, but always stick to the same martingale factor once you find the one that works. I recommend 3.5, anywhere between 3 and 3.5, alright? Then stop loss, take profit is self-explanatory. We can go ahead and close that off. Once we're happy with that, all you have to do is click on start auto accumulator and let that run. Now this does take time, so you want to let it just run. It is a more slower approach, but if you want the fast-paced bots, once again, those are on AI bots, but this is much slower. Dev tools, that's for just our developers. Alright, so I'll be back once we get our first trade, and then we can have a look there. Alright, so that wasn't even that long, guys. I didn't even need to speed it up, but here we are, our first trade, and as you can see, it should hit take profit. There we go. So on a $1, you're getting back 36 cents, right? Obviously, you can play around with the stake depending on your account size, but we'll just keep going and we can have a look to see how far we go in this. I'm not going to sit here the whole day and show you guys until we make profit, but I just want to see one loss until you guys can see the martingale in action, and then we'll hop over to the 1%. So I will go ahead and fast forward the video until we make one loss and it martingales, and I'll be back with you guys then. Alright guys, so there we go. We have gotten our first loss. So if you go ahead and look at this, we can see now the losses are coming in, which I wanted to explain to you guys. So there we go. More losses coming in, but once again the martingale in effect. And if you have a smaller account, you want to make sure that you keep it at about 0.35, but as you can see right there, the martingale has covered up for the loss and we're back in profit. So that is what I wanted to show you. The bot just never want to lose, as you can see, and it does take time, so this is perfect for us. Once again, let me just go ahead and stop that for you, and we're going to have a look at the 1% now. So take note of the amount you are earning per trade on 5% compared to 1%. Let me go ahead and do that for you. So it is on 1%. We'll go ahead and start the bot right there. There we go, guys. We now have our first trade, and let's see how it goes. Remember, we were making about 36 cents per trade on the last one, and with 1%, we're only making zero point 0.4 cents. So in that case, that is why I'm showcasing to you guys. We want to stick to 5%, so we have a higher gain, right? I'm not sure if that'll take effect, or we gotta stop the bot. Let's have a look. Alright, so it has taken effect because we changed it just before. So there we go. You can see the difference. This is 1% and this is 5%. But do bear in mind, the higher you go, the smaller the barrier, the more times it exits the barrier. Whereas the lower it goes, the higher your trades are going to hit take profit. But remember, the more slower it is on 1%, you're going to get way more less trades compared to 5%. So that is why here's the recommended settings for those of you that have been asking. 5%, select on profit. Stats, you can have a look at that and see what works for you in terms of bot settings. 3.5 on a martingale and the bare minimum on smaller accounts. Anywhere after $100, you can look at about $2 stake, or you can look at about even 0.5 on way smaller account. Once again, you guys can go ahead and ask me any questions, and you can contact me via any of these buttons right here. And if you want to head back to the page where we were on our normal AI bots and our new bots, the Odyssey Pro, you guys can click on AI bots. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. We do have a free WhatsApp and Telegram group and our YouTube tutorials on how to use our systems. But that's it for me, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And then once again, I'll just fast forward this part for you. $2 stake, or you can look at about even 0.5 on way smaller account.